put yourself ahead of LeBron?
As a team standpoint.
Would you put yourself ahead of LeBron as a team standpoint?
My success as a team is more successful than LeBron. I got 6 rings.
Okay, so then if I talk to an NBA owner, by the way, this is very helpful because realize this is very helpful because for me as a fan, I've followed this. So if I speak from an NBA standpoint, owner, and I want to find an all-around player.
Scottie Pippen just said what nobody in mainstream media has been willing to touch. LeBron James runs from competition every single time. That is not a hot take from a random critic. That is Scottie Pippen, 6 rings, Hall of Famer. One of the greatest winners this sport has ever seen. Sitting down calmly and delivering what felt like a verdict. He was not loud. He was not angry. He was steady. Like a man who had been watching something for years and finally decided the silence was no longer worth keeping. And what he said did not just spark a debate. It cracked something open in the entire LeBron legacy conversation. Because Pippen was not talking about one moment. He was pointing at a pattern, a habit. Something he says has been there since the very beginning. And once he started laying it out, people could not look away. Here is exactly what Pippen said.
I want to be remembered, and you said, I want to be remembered as
the greatest of all time. You know, the reason why I say stuff like that is because when you play the game the way that I played it, why can't I say that?
Oh, that's okay. You can say that. No one's saying you can't say that.
Say it and mean it.
Oh, so you do believe that?
I'm saying, yeah.
To understand why Pippen's words hit this hard, you have to look at the timing. It is 2026. LeBron is being praised everywhere. Longevity, greatness, all-time rankings, non-stop coverage on every single platform. His name sits next to the biggest legends this sport has ever produced. The story around him feels polished, almost finished, like the final chapter of a book that everyone already knows the ending to. And that is exactly the environment Pippen walked into. Now here is what makes this different from every other take you have heard this year. Pippen has never been quiet. He went at Jordan in his book. He stirred things up publicly before. He never dodged controversy when it was right in front of him. But this felt different, more personal, more deliberate, like something that had been building up over decades, quietly, slowly, and finally came out all at once. Word was already spreading in basketball circles before the clips even dropped online. That is how fast things move when someone like Pippen speaks this directly about a player as protected as LeBron. People who knew about the interview were already talking, already picking sides, already preparing their arguments, and everyone was asking the exact same question. What exactly did he say? Here is the quote. Every single time the moment gets too real, he finds a way out. I have seen it too many times to keep quiet about it. Read that again. Every single time. Not once. Not twice. Every single time. That is not a critique of one bad game or one bad series. That is a pattern being described by someone who has watched this league from the inside for decades. 6 words. That is all it took to shake the entire conversation and send it in a completely different direction. But Pippen did not stop there. He kept going, digging deeper into what he believes true greatness actually looks like when pressure closes in from every side and there is no easy exit anywhere in sight. Because in Pippen's mind, greatness is not about what you do when things are comfortable. It is about what you do when there is nowhere left to run. You either face it, or you fold. And according to Pippen, that next clip tells you everything about which side LeBron has always chosen when that moment arrived.
There's not much he can do short of, if he wins 4 titles in a row, okay, then we'll have a conversation. That's pressure. But LeBron's been under pressure his entire career. Going to LA does not intensify that pressure. Maybe in that small area of Los Angeles, their expectations are high. But in the entire NBA and in the world, LeBron's legacy is set, right, man? I mean, excuse me, Will?
Well,
white guy, beard.
They don't all look alike. They don't all look alike.
I noticed Max has shaved his beard down, so now you can tell us apart. Look.
And according to Pippen, LeBron has never fully stepped into that fire. The guys I respect most in this game, they did not pick their spots. They stood and they fought every single time. No matter how hard it got, no matter how impossible it looked from the outside, watch that clip carefully. Not just the words, but how he carries them. His eyes, his hands, his tone. This is not someone chasing attention or looking for a headline. This is someone who finally decided to say what has been sitting on his mind for a very long time. This was not just a comment. This felt like a verdict being delivered by someone who earned the right to deliver it. And the basketball world reacted instantly. Within hours, it was everywhere. Every platform, every timeline, every comment section. But in all that noise, most people missed the real point Pippen was actually making. He was not talking about one moment in LeBron's career. He was not pointing at one bad series or one bad decision. He was talking about all of them. The full picture. The complete pattern across 2 decades. Picture LeBron's career like a map full of turning points. Every single time pressure got heavy. Every time a rival stopped looking like a challenge and started looking like a wall. Pippen says LeBron's next move was always the same. Find a new situation. A reset. A fresh setup where things lean more in his favor, where the odds feel more manageable. And Pippen made one thing very clear. He was not calling LeBron untalented, not even close. He said it himself. I am not saying he cannot play. I am saying the decisions tell you everything about the competitor. That is where it cuts deep. Because in Pippen's world, the one he lived through with Michael Jordan, you did not move things around to feel comfortable. You stayed in the fire. You fought through the mess even when it hurt. Even when everyone around you was saying it was impossible. And in Pippen's eyes, LeBron never fully embraced that version of competition. Once those clips started moving in early 2025, everything split fast. 2 sides. Almost overnight. LeBron supporters came in loud, called Pippen bitter, called it jealousy, pointed to championships, records, stats, longevity. Some argued that a man who spent his career standing next to Jordan should not question anyone else's competitive fire. But on the other side, fans who had been quietly noticing certain patterns for years finally had the words for what they were seeing. And that Pippen quote started looping everywhere you looked. Former players started speaking. Some publicly. Others behind the scenes in podcasts and private conversations that slowly made their way out. What they were saying was more layered than the online arguments. More careful. Most of them understood exactly what Pippen meant, even if they did not want to say it as directly as he did. And then came the detail that stood out above everything else. LeBron's camp went completely silent. No response. No posts. No statement of any kind. And sometimes, that silence hits louder than any statement ever could. So tell me, do you think Pippen is right? Does LeBron run from competition every single time things get too real? Or has he earned the right to be called the greatest no matter what? Drop your honest answer in the comments right now. Because this debate is absolutely not going anywhere.